everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters, and today I'm here to show you how to put together the mini album that I shared on my blog hop, today. This features the rectangle tins as well as the Heartwarming Hugs Designer Series paper, but you can switch up and use whatever Designer Series paper that you want. And you'll actually see that I'm down to just about the end of my package of Heartwarming Hugs Designer Series paper. So I don't have a lot of the patterns to play with, but on my the mini album that I posted on the blog, you'll see for sure that there are other patterns that I've used. So let me just switch over to my desktop and I will show you how to put the album together. Okay, so this is the rectangle tin and this is the album. So you can see that I've decorated it using the Heartwarming Hugs Designer Series paper. This sentiment actually comes from the Wrapped in Christmas. So let me just bring in the ones that I used. So I've used a few. I used the Warm Hugs stamp set, as well as the Wrapped in Christmas stamp set, and then used a couple of these dies. These dies are from the, I think they're called North Pole dies. This coordinates with the Wonder of the Season stamp set. So I have kind of mixed it up, but I have used the Heartwarming Hugs Designer Series paper on this. So you can see when you open it up, there's a little tag in here. I haven't got any pictures or any journaling done on this, but I'll decide what I'm going to do. So I've covered the inside of the tin, and then the little album has got some room for some pictures, again, some tags, and on the other side. You can see the patterns in this product, or this Designer Series paper, most of which I don't have any left of, but I do have some. I've got this one left, and this is the back side. So my album that I'm going to show you today will actually use just the front and back of this Designer Series paper. Now, I've also used the trio punch to round my corners. Just makes it fit into the tin. What else was I going to tell you? Oh, and the coordinating colors that I've used. So this is Real Red, of course, Whisper White. Old Olive I'm using, but you could use Pear Pizzazz, but I'm using Old Olive ink, but I'm using Pear Pizzazz paper, so just a little bit of mixed up. All right, so that's the little album, so lots of room for some journaling with some pictures of what happened this Christmas. So this goes back in like that, and then you seal up. Okay, all of the measurements for this are on my blog, so you don't have to worry about trying to get them written down. They will be on the blog post. So let me bring in my trimmer. So this is a piece of Whisper White cardstock. I've used the 12 by 12 inch cardstock in Whisper White, and this is cut 3 3/4 by 11 7/8. It's a little bit odd, but 11 7/8 gives you 3 exact pieces, or sorry, let's see, how many? 5 exact pieces, folds. Okay, so what you're going to do after you've cut that is you're going to score at 2 3/8, and then at 4 3/4. My trimmer. Then 7 1/8, and 9 1/2. All right, so that gives you all of your pieces for your album. Oops. Okay, so then you can take these and just kind of fold them accordion style. Give them a quick burnish with your bone folder. And this will fit into my tin, which I left over here. Fit into one of these tins, but you do have to use your trio punch to round the corners. So to get the ones, you can actually do two. So when you fold it in half, you can actually, so you can get that kind of the rounded corners on both. I love this punch. It's got the 3 different, and it creates a hole for a tag as well as a really pretty leaf. And then of course the corner rounder. Okay. So that's the album part of it. Now it's just a matter of decorating it. So I've actually cut out my pieces in advance so that you don't have to watch me cut out pieces and do all of the corner. And I've done all the rounding of the corners with the exception of one, but rounding of these corners on your pieces of designer series paper is no different than the rounding of the corners for the album itself in the Whisper White. So I'll just do this last piece of designer series paper, and then we're set to put the album together. Okay, so for the album itself, you will need 6 pieces of designer series paper, and these are cut 2 1/4 by 3 5/8. So there'll be 3 on each side, and we can adhere those down. Now I'm using Stamp and Seal Plus, just gives it a little bit of extra strength for this album. You could use the tear and tape adhesive if you wanted to, but you're not holding, you know, big pieces of cardstock together like you would in a normal album. So really, even the Stamp and Seal would work just fine on this. Okay, there, that's those. And then I'll do the opposite on this side, just to mix it up a little bit. So once you've kind of got all the measurements done and cut out, it doesn't take long to put the album together. Probably will take longer to decorate the album and write the little journaling in it, at least for me. Okay, there we go. That's that part of the album. This is an extra piece. Okay, so the other thing that I've cut are these pieces. These are cut. You'll need 4 of these, and these will make the little flap where the tags will go. So these are cut 2 3/8 by 2 inches, and again the corners are rounded. Now, as I said, I've actually pre-stamped these so that you didn't have to watch me do the decorating, but really this is about putting the album together. I will show you a little trick. What you'd want, if you just used your Stamp and Seal Plus here, it's probably 1/4 of an inch, might not quite be 1/4 of an inch wide, but you don't want to actually use that much or lose that much of your space. So I'm just gonna using my silicone mat, I'm just running my adhesive along the edge so that half of it is off of it and on the silicone mat. And then I'm just going to take that and fold it over. You can kind of do it using your silicone mat to help you. Otherwise, you lose a lot of space, and your tags that you're going to have to put in here are going to be have to be much narrower than they are. So it just takes a little bit. But if you use your silicone mat, it makes it really easy to do this. Your tag or your pocket will not stick to the silicone. So again, just to use your silicone mat to fold the adhesive back on itself. And then I have 2 more. Whoa. Well, that wasn't so clever. Let's see if I can pull one of these off. Probably not, because it's stuck. Oh, good. All right. Good. Should have thought about that. All right. There we go. Let's put this one on the back. Like that. I'm thinking about what I'd stamped on these. If you don't have one of these silicone mats, they are an amazing tool, and they're not all that expensive, but it just makes life so much easier because the adhesive, whether you're using Stamp and Seal or Stamp and Seal Plus or the multi-purpose adhesive glue, it just makes it so much easier to adhere on here and then not get a mess all over like I do on my grid paper, or then I get it on my cardstock, and so if you don't have one of these, you definitely should invest. Okay, there we go. So that's the album. Now I've cut little tags. Now my tags are cut. What did I cut these? I believe so. These are cut 1 and oh no, that's not. Gotta get the right one. 1 3/4 by 2 1/2. And actually I have some that are a little longer than that, but roughly 2 1/2. They could be a little longer. And I've rounded the corners, and now I'm going to take one of the, this is I believe the scallop topper punch, like this. And I'm just going to push this in, make sure it's kind of even, and punch the, so your tags don't all have to be the same height. And again, I'm using, cut the right end, I'm using Real Red for the tags and Pear Pizzazz. And then I have one tag for the inside pocket as well, and I'll cut that while I'm doing this. So the inside of the tin, the front of it has a, I don't know why that didn't work. It's not cutting. Alright, well that didn't work. Okay, we'll have to pull that out of here and I'll have to trim that. Okay, so for these, really there's no decorating, because what you're going to do, you can use these for journaling on. And all we have to do, and you can use, I pulled out some ribbon. This ribbon is from the Trimming the Town, and it is old olive and real red with some gold. So I think I'm going to use this for putting in my tag. So I'll just cut, this is about a 8 inches piece. And double it over. You can use whatever ribbon. On the album that I posted on my blog, I think I even used some of the white ribbon. Just some white ribbon. There we go. And you can make these as long as you want. If you want it to stick outside of your album when the tin is closed up, you can absolutely do that. There. Fumbling. And one more that I'll put red. It's really, really pretty ribbon. Comes as a combo pack of the old olive and real red together. So you get both colors. There we go. So that's your album. Now you can decorate this up if you want to do more stamping on it than I've done. That's perfectly up to you, but that is the album. Now I have 2 pieces of designer series paper that I've cut. Now these are cut, let me get the measurements for you. These are cut 2 3/8 by 2 3/8 by 3 5/8, and they will fit on the inside of your album like that. So I'm just going to use Stamp and Seal. Actually, before I do that, I have a tag pocket to go on. So again, for the inside, let me just bring my silicone mat back. My little trick, half off. There we go. And we'll put that. Oops. Right one. This album would look really cute in the Whale of a Time designer series paper if you wanted to do it for one of your kids or your grandchildren. So that goes inside. And then we're just going to cover up the back. We're not going to put a flap, but you could absolutely put a pocket on the inside, in the back as well if you wanted to, give you more space. Okay. So when this all goes, these just fit in like this. And when I get my other tag, it will go into here. So these will just kind of hang out like this. All right, now for the front, I've cut a piece of real red. Again, I've rounded my corners. And this piece of real red is cut 3 7/8 by 2.5. Now remember, all of these measurements are on my blog, so you can go to my blog and get them. Don't have to worry about it. So 3 7/8 by 2.5. And then a piece of designer series paper that is cut 3 3/4 by 2 3/8 to fit. Oops. Here. There we go. All right, and then I stamped this image. Again, this is an image from the Wrapped in Christmas, and then these dies are from the North Pole dies. So I'm going to take some of this. This is such pretty sheer ribbon. I'm going to take a fair amount of it. I think it's, yeah, I would say it's about 20 inches. You want to make sure you have lots of ribbon so that you can tie a bow. So I'm just going to take it and wrap it around, and the bow will actually be on the front. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the Stamp and Seal Plus, and this is just really to hold the ribbon in place, and then the designer series paper and cardstock will go over it. Oops. There we go. And we'll just take this, hold that in place, and then put this on the front. Now I'm going to tie my bow first, and the reason that I do that is just so that I can see where I go. So you can do it like I just did it, or you can put the ribbon over top if you want the ribbon to show. But in this case, I put it underneath mine and holds it in place. And then the bow will, and get my fingers to tie a bow. It's slippery. There we go. There we go. I wouldn't trim this too much just because people will be tying this, so make sure you leave it lots, leave lots of room for people to be able to retie their bow. And then put the tag on it. There we go. All right, so I'll take this out so you can see. Oh, of course my dog decides to bark. All right, I'll get my tag to put in there, but so this is the album that you decorated, and it goes in like that. And you can tuck these in or out. I kind of like them just kind of sticking out, just to give it a lot. And there's your album. Or yeah, your album. And then this is the one I did. So in this one I actually put the ribbon on the outside, and used the different designer series paper. You can see I combined some of the ribbon on this one. I used the white ribbon from the I can't remember what set this is from. It comes with twine that's Misty Moonlight. It was clearly really pretty cotton white ribbon, because I had more white on this one with the designer series paper. Alright, well I hope you enjoyed that. Let me just flip back over to my other one. There we go. Hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions while you're watching the video, please post them on the comments. I'm happy to answer the questions, or on my blog. And while you're checking out the video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'd love for you to get notified when I post more videos. So hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, thanks very much. Bye everybody.